Beautifully what with Barrera and Sierra finishing it strongly. So two explosive shots we've seen in a game infinitely better than the last one we saw Brazil involved in against Peru. There's the 37-year-old goalkeeper in place tonight as a substitute for Taparel, and we've noticed as the Chilean goalkeeper Toledo goes away down to the other end that Brazil have brought on a substitute, Viola from Corinthians. Big lad, young lad, 21 years of age, has come on, and the various coaches coming around here. I think possibly the Chileans are now anxious that the Brazilians are about to unleash their full power at them. Now, we were beginning to doubt Mario Zagallo there, by the way, that venerable gentleman at the end, looking at some notes. And beside him, right beside him, Carlos Alberto Pereira, 48 years of age. Zagallo's in his 70s now. Wonderful old man. And off go Brazil at the start of a second half, which promises a lot. This very good fullback there, Mendoza with it. Set to go to Europe. Now looking for little 1-2s. The Chileans played some very good fluent attacking football in the first 15 minutes of the game, but then Brazil, like this, took over. Look at them clustering in midfield and then opening it out, using the pace much better than they did in that opening game. And there's Muller. Well taken though by Toledo. Muller hovering in the background. He had only one chance there, a little slip, and two Brazilians were right on top of him. Muller offside for the umpteenth time. Mark, he should care. I talked about the law of averages. There's a substitute, by the way. Viola. I talked about the law of averages. He just kept edging into this Chilean defense. He was being caught offside, and some of his efforts near goal were rather poor, but the one that counted was spectacular. Hooked away there by Ramirez, who's, let me remind you, had a yellow card, and if you get two, you miss a game automatically. Brazil still on the attack, and again Muller foiled. Well, the reason why we've had a Brazilian performance of attacking is they've used the width of the field extremely well, with the likes of Cafu, and on the other side Valber. I recall that magnificent 70-yard run by Valber. Now away goes Sampaio. Notice how flat that defense was, playing four right across the back. Getting into a cluster there, but remaining very cool, Antonio Carlos. Oh, this is better play by Brazil. Beautiful ball right inside. Must be a second goal. No! Toledo has had a marvelous start to the second half. Beautifully set up there. And coming into it, Paulinho, the man you would have expected, Paulinho, to put that away. The ball swept in by Boidero, the goalkeeper narrowing the angle, and that is technically very sound goalkeeping, sliding in and getting the legs in. And the goalkeeper's been hot into the bargain. Now he's saved them 3 times in the last, the opening 3 minutes of this game. Well, I did say there was a spring unleashing amidst that Brazilian squad. Lovely touchdown. They're opening him up on the left in particular. That's again was Boidero going down to the left. Now, the counter-attack. Mendoza. Can't get it away, though. They've lost so much possession in midfield, the Chileans. Neat little ball inside. That was Viola, the substitute. I said about him, he's a strong character. Well, Brazil can claim the South American club champions in Sao Paulo. Valber, the player playing for him. Muller, of course. Palinha, all from that club. Palinha, the top scorer in the Libertadores. What a marvelous final that will make with Marseille. Flicked in by Guevara. Play rather slowing down by Chile. Chile have been out of this game from about 25 minutes before halftime. The Brazilians began to tramp a bit. Well, thank heavens for the sake of this tournament that Brazil look to be taking things very seriously now. I just wonder if they had got a kind of drab win over Peru, 1-0, say, that we would have seen them just coasting along, not caring too much about it, just qualifying for the final sections. But the fact that they were beaten has bitten into them, and we're seeing the product and reaction of that tonight. Well, you could see that Mendoza was in two minds as to what to do with that. Been well backed up, though, by Vilches. Vilches defending very stoutly. Now, away goes Lepi. Lepi, a very good-looking player, but he has an astonishing disciplinary record, been sent off 5 times in 5 seasons. Not bad going, good average. Well, they were forced into that. Valber making that mistake, just getting a little bit too casual. Of course, the two nations met in the final of the Copa Libertadores, with Universidad Católica taking on Sao Paulo. So they know each other pretty well. That's a bit of break forward. Is it going to be a goal? It is! It's the second one. And a goal coming forward like that, beautifully struck in. Quite remarkable. And Zambrano, the substitute, getting the touch over the goalkeeper just as Brazil seemed to have outright supremacy. Zambrano makes it 2-1, 7 minutes into the second half. Well, this game never ceases to astonish me. I would have written Chile off altogether. I think you could perhaps discern that from what I was saying. So here comes that second goal. That's very cutely taken by Zambrano. Well, that gives the Brazilians something to think about again. There they were, looking cool but determined. They're certainly after their win. And then suddenly they find themselves so early in the second half up against it again. I think where Brazil improved in this game was their midfield play and linking up with the runners like Zinho, Palinha and Muller, but never tested at the back until now. They appeal for a penalty. Oh, they get it. Oh, dear, dear, dear. Oh, I think the Chileans have a right to be annoyed about that. Well, let's see that one again, please. That looked to me like the Brazilian taking a leap like a salmon. Well, they're still arguing about it. Watch it, Muller. Oh no, wait a minute now. Now from that angle, I think the referee was perfectly correct. What it does show you, well, I wonder if football should institute something like the cricketing decision to have a third umpire or a third referee with a television screen just to clarify things. But from the camera behind the goal, it certainly looked like it. Palinha now with the penalty. Muller might have slightly embellished the fall, but I think nevertheless it was a penalty eventually. Here he comes, Palinha. That's the equaliser. Ten minutes gone, and they're back even again. And I think they'll be after blood now. Taking that very coolly indeed against a very good goalkeeper, Patricio Toledo, 30 years of age. He might have been wrong-footed there, but he hasn't put a foot wrong previously, and his handling has been extremely safe. Nice, cool customer though. Palinha under pressure. They had to put that one away, and Chile offside. Well, that's the scoreline at the moment, and I really do believe the spectators are enjoying this game, one of the best of the Copa America so far. Muller again coming forward. He may have been offside. Oh, watch the penalty. I'd far rather see the incident again myself. We only had one look at Muller, and I have to say from the camera angle behind the goal, it looked to me like a penalty. Although how the referee could tell, because he was on the other side of the tackle. Well, if Chile had added to that, I think the Brazilians may have buckled, even though they were very much on top. But now they're back on level terms again. Oh, he's a good player, isn't he? Just couldn't quite get it away there. Muller chasing after. No, it's the substitute, Viola. He's even bigger than Muller. You always feel about the Brazilians that nobody would really mind them losing in a game, especially in the World Cup, so long as they turned on the entertainment and went after goals. It was since they began to develop the ideas of a much more physical European structure and foundation, way back, by the way, 1974, not as recently mentioned against Lazzaroni. They were trying that way back in the German World Cup. It didn't pay off for them in the days of Rivellino. And the great team of Pele, Garincha, etc. Beautiful through. Can he put it in? No. Guevara went right through. It was a very difficult shot indeed for Guevara. He had the goalkeeper narrowed the angle, and the two players at the near post. So Chile fighting back again. It goes deep as a third one. There, the second goal by Zambrano. The man who come on at half-time gets his second goal with the most delicately glanced header. Look at that, right as a challenge, a one-to-one confrontation with the defender. And Carlos, absolutely no chance at all. A glorious goal. So Chile, to their credit, taking it on the chin and coming back. But oh dear, the marking. I mean, they really should not allow a player to come forward as easily as that. And now what's been given at the other end? Muller going right through as we watch that replay. And this game boiling over. Out comes the Chilean coach. He's not at all happy. Arturo Sala. Well, let me put it, he was annoyed with what the Brazilians were trying to get away with there. I'm sure he's delighted that they scored that goal. And so the crowd. What a challenge for Brazil now. They really are staggered. I mean, it's there's a palpable feel about them now, as if they've been insulted by that third goal. How dare Chile put it away like that? Twice behind, twice coming back. So 15 minutes gone as the Mexican wave begins to acknowledge the great efforts of these two teams in one of the best games of the Copa America so far. So this is Pizarro to take this. Headed away by Valverde, been back mostly in defense in the past 5 minutes. A very edgy, suddenly very edgy and nervous-looking Brazilian side. Now they've got to take a grip of themselves, get the balance and composure again. Touched on to the outside. Muller trying to push that back. And the Chileans suddenly have improved in midfield. I think that's the major difference in them in the second half. And bringing on that substitute, Zambrano with the 2 goals. Quite astonishing that. The coach will be pleased. They really have a fight in their hands now. Chileans have declared quite simply that they can score quality goals. Cafu, brilliant run. This is what he's good at. Now what's the final ball like? Oh, it lets him down again. What a pity he hasn't mastered that aspect of his game. He has the pace, he has the beating of players, but he cannot embellish it. Trying to string it together. Palinha took his eye off that. Nicely pushed forward by Antonio Carlos, who's trying to come forward. It's far too high, and that's easy for the goalkeeper. Well, the clutch was in the air, but I think he got a little bit histrionic about it. Now watch his goal again. That's a brave header as well, because the defender was as near to the ball as he was. Glorious header. Sierra. They're playing so well. Este. Oh, he does it well. Este's still going forward. almost a Brazilian touch about him that time. Dispossessed though by Pizarro. Make it almost 20 minutes gone of this greatly and welcomingly absorbing game. So much better than some of the anemic stuff we've been watching. Hooked across by Mendoza. Guevara. Mendoza, just as good as Cafu is. Ball taken away now. They're vulnerable when he comes forward, and Brazil can exploit that gap. Touched by Boydero. Now Palinha. And they're getting their men back. Ramirez is there. Now Viola. This is Cafu. Peel for Woods, comes all the way through. Can he put it in? It's an own goal. No! Oh! From here, it looked as if it was going into the back of the net. And Palinha suddenly crept into the picture. Nobody knew he was coming in from the back. And for a moment, it looked like an own goal. We're going to make another substitution here. It's number 16, Paragues from Universidad Católica, the finalists for the Copa Libertadores coming on. Paragues, and off goes Estay, the man who probably tired himself out with that lovely little run about a couple of minutes ago. So Paragues is on. I think a free kick. As Chile now try to maintain that lead. Touch forward there by Valverde. We haven't seen him running so much down the left. A little warming up session going on here with Eli Velton from Cruzeiro. He was supposed to play in that very first game, but didn't. Well, Chile are knocking it about confidently again. Oh, and that was Pizarro. He just wanted rid of the ball. Very fortunate to get it through to Mendoza. I think that's going to be a free kick. Free kick it is. Looks to me like Barrera was shaping up for this. Alongside him, Lepe, the man who's been sent off 5 times in 5 seasons. Yes, it was Sierra, and there's the shot. Sierra laid it off. Well, certainly Brazil have now got to consider their defense very carefully indeed. They've rather let them down now after so much effective work in midfield. Valverde. Inside to Boydero. They're closing down Brazil much more effectively now in the second half. Or Puri's ball, and I think the rest of the Brazilian players realize that. Look at Muller. Muller says, I want number 9, I want the ball to feet. However, Mendoza is not only a capable defender, he's as dangerous as anybody else when Chile come forward. striking that into no man's land, and I think Chile will be getting confident. We have played almost 25 minutes of the second half. They're still in the lead, 3-2. Sampaio at the back. Muller chasing this and bustling. I think that's a free kick. Yes, it is indeed. Muller appealing to the goalkeeper, I think. He's not going to get very much out of him. The Chilean players, unlike some of the other nations, virtually all of them playing in their own country, just 1 or 2 abroad. So unlike Uruguay, where the vast majority of them are away, and of course Brazil, with so many of their players not here, some great players, of course. But nevertheless, something expected of this lot. Looking daggers at each other. Guevara getting in a very hard tackle. Fabian Guevara from the University de Chile. And now here's that substitution. Eli Velton is now on. Eli Velton from Cruzeiro. And no chance of getting that as we now go into the last 20 minutes of the game. Well, they've taken their top goal scorer off, Palinha. I think the coach must have been judging. He was getting a little bit tired. They will not want to be beaten in this one, the Brazilians, that's for sure. And now suddenly they've disintegrated from an extremely confident team at the start of the second half. And I extolling their virtues. Suddenly they look very ordinary and rather clueless at the moment. Now they're having to go hunt and search the ball as Chile do what Brazil were doing to them in the first half, just keeping useful possession. It's deep, it's well marked, and it's very obvious. And at this juncture, they may be taking a breather. Brazil seem to be running out of steam. That's a bit of ball all the same. And I think he still has it. Lovely play by Boidero, and a poor ball though. Free kick, I think he had his heels taken apart there. This will be taken by Vilches from Colo-Colo. Nicely brought down there by the sub. Zambrano. What a useful player, Zambrano. He tried to get away again there. That'll be a free kick. And I don't think Sampaio likes that. But a free kick is going to be. Now this could be very interesting indeed. They have some men who can rattle a ball in from that distance. And now the very anxious goalkeeper, Roberto Carlos. There's the defensive wall. Got it well back, and the shot at goal, and I would think 90% of these free kicks from that area have been very badly misjudged by players. And I think the general consensus view is it's something to do with the thinner atmosphere at altitude. The ball tending to fly up a little. And no punch or drive about the Brazilians at this stage. It's all gone. And one hopes again, not for good in this game. Now, if they were able to pull one back now, it would make for a marvelous finish in the last 15 minutes, which we're just about to enter. That's Muller playing that bustling part of his, but he got it away very well. This is where they've lost possession a lot in midfield, Brazil, in the last 15 minutes. There we are, into the last 15 minutes. Better play. No, I don't think it's good enough, though, as Eddie Velton tried to turn away down, getting his first real look at the ball down the left. Well, he'll take his time about it. I wouldn't blame the Chileans now for wasting as much time as they possibly can. This would be a notable victory. As I said at the start, only 3 times have they beaten Brazil. They have to wait 50 years for the first victory. Now on the verge of the 4th. Quite simply running out of ideas, Brazil. They've got to come up with something special. Muller, is he offside again, and this time with Viola with him. And they've lost their way, there's no doubt about that. The interesting thing about the group sections and the winners and runners-up playing the winners of the alternative section is that if Brazil didn't win this section, which looks more and more likely, it gets them out of the way of playing Ecuador, and that means that Ecuador would avoid the bigger teams, Brazil, Uruguay, Argentina, right through to the final. So you can well imagine why the Ecuadorians here are favoring Chile in this game. Still a lack of urgency about 1 or 2 of these Brazilian players. I mean, they must realize we've now got about 13 minutes remaining. They're trailing. They haven't been able to get the ball through to Muller so effectively. And all that sparkling play has disappeared. What we're getting now is not so much a test of skill, or even of nerve, it's one of character, whether they can pick themselves up from this adversity. As Guevara is on, and I think the referee wants him to get on with it, perhaps suggesting that Guevara is down for a little rest. There's the figure of Cafu, who's interesting. Real Madrid, you can understand why, because of his pace. And if they can work on his final ball, he'll be some player. Widerio. Antonio Carlos, elegant, cool figure. They're giving it away. Now the counter-attack. This is the goal scorer. Zambrano, what a game he's had, giving it out there to Mendoza. Touched on there by Sierra. Broken out by the coolness of Antonio Carlos at the back. And that's a bit of a gift. Nicely to the side. Too many Chileans back. Oh, there's a great chance. Brilliantly saved, but I think it may be offside. It was indeed. And the Chileans now getting great support from the Ecuador, largely Ecuador crowd. Now this is the offside given there. Yes, it was. A couple of players offside. Ooh, Antonio Carlos just getting there. Miller has gone wide. The ball breaking away from him too easily, though. Great play by Mendoza. He really is a fine. Mendoza going right. Can he keep it in play? He does. Oh, he just overdid it. I think the sheer effort of keeping that in play meant he had to lose possession. Here he is again, Mendoza. He doesn't get a free kick for that. That was play acting. I would book that sort of thing. Oh, well, Valverde thought the ball was going down to the other end of the field. Took his eye right off it. I think he might have been slightly injured. That's a better ball. Look at all the space that's been created. Guevara with a shot and getting in the way. Sierra, unfortunately, the goal scorer, the first goal scorer. Antonio Carlos wants to come forward. Oh, they're losing possession far too easily. So little time left for them. 8 minutes, I make it. Still 3-2 for Chile. Better brought down, and well, the substitute Viola has done very little since coming on. I think he might be useful for his height, but he hasn't had any of that service at all. Where they go, Sierra. Nice ball in there as it's picked up again by Brazil. Oh! Zambrano. He almost opened up a pathway for him. Muller appealing for a free kick. You'll get that. Look at the way Zambrano forced his way forward. A revelation in this second half. And that would really have killed Brazil. I think they're going to call for the physio. Well, that's the Chileans you can hear in the background. And again, the ambulance men coming on. The referee having a word with them, and they're annoyed. Valverde is annoyed. The injury does seem to be serious. They're telling them to be very cautious. I don't think they trust them. And it is indeed the sub Viola. Off he goes. I don't think he'll come back again. He's getting the right treatment. And a booking for Guevara. We'll look across to the Brazilian bench. If anybody comes on. Just going off the Chilean player, I would have thought. Well, it's a bit of a paradox that Brazil have improved their play enormously, and yet they're finding themselves behind. It attests to the quality of the Chileans going forward. So much out of the game in the first half. And then that inspired substitution, Zambrano coming on. Well, driven forward more in hope than anything else by Valbert. And you begin to wonder if Brazil have lost the spirit to save this game. Just about 5 minutes remaining. Deep one. Bit of hesitation there by Carlos Alberto, but taken down brilliantly by Cafu. There he goes, Müller doesn't seem to have the drive and the pace. Oh, that was Zinho, in fact, going for that. That was their substitute, Paraguez. What they want to do is keep possession. Well, at least that's what they should be doing. Trying nothing spectacular. But away they break. Zambrano. Mendoza. Well, that's ahead of the goal, but much too simple by Barrera. I don't know whether he was tired or not, but he was uncovered, and he really ought to have done better than that. Angled it away from the goalkeeper. We're now in the last 5 minutes. And they're going in the wrong direction. Almost slow to a walking pace, Brazil. And that was more in hope than in vain. And I think that Brazil look as if they're burned out. We shall see if a miracle can happen in the last 3.5 minutes now. Chasing after it, the sub, that's not a bad ball, but who's coming in from the right? Taken there by Cafu, and he didn't have any support. That was a problem there. Well, they've done extraordinarily well, Chile, in the second half. I thought they were on the borderline of being taken apart. And that second strike really sickened Brazil. Well, I think he was right to try that, Sierra. Because apart from anything else, it wastes time. The shot at goal from way out. I now make it about just about 2 minutes by my watch. Still 3-2, a notable victory. If it comes off, only the 4th in their long history against Brazil. Yes, they're devoid of inspiration. Now, can they make me eat my words in the last few seconds of this game? It's not offside. Oh, well, for a moment, the referee was going to let play on, then he quickly looked across to the linesman. And the most disappointed man, surely, Carlos Alberto Pereira. He did see something of promise for about 25 minutes at the end of the first half. And then suddenly it's all come apart again. Well, he's doing that in the wrong half of the field. That's the point. I now make it 1.5 minutes. Chile want to hold the ball. On you go, take it to a corner, you feel like shouting at them. Yes, that's the way to play it around. They win the throw. They know the seconds are ticking away. Exactly a minute remaining. And this will stun the whole of Brazil that these players have now gone 2 games. An improved performance by a long way in the second game, and yet they may conceivably only have 1 point to show for it. Taken by Guevara. There he is, doing the orthodox time-wasting thing. Goes into the corner, and tempers might be getting frayed. Antonio Carlos looks to be going to... I thought he was going after the player. It's away deep. We're into stoppage time. The goalkeeper gets it. I think they must be indicating from the bench that it's almost all over. An historic win coming up for Chile. The crowd whistling for the referee to put an end to it all. And brought down by one of the best players in the tournament so far, I think. The fullback, Chile has Mendoza, who won't last in Chile all that long, I don't think. Now, into the box it goes. There it goes, the final whistle. Chile have done it. Would you believe it? A team I would have written off at half-time. All the portents were against them. The Brazilians were rising in ascendancy, finding their touch, but 2 superb goals by Zambrano in the second half put pay to any chance. A penalty by Palhinha almost got them back into the game again, but Zambrano getting the third. A delighted coach, Arturo Sala, going to the dressing room, I'm sure to heap praise on the way his players kept their nerve. I think that was probably the biggest feature of all. The Chileans could have crumbled. They refused to do so. And they found in Zambrano, bringing him on in the second half, a player of great balance and temperament. Wonderful the way he got into the box, the way he did to get that finish. And that header must go down as one of the best strikes in the championship. Equaled by the Ecuadorian striker in the very first game. But I think the way he got in front of the defender courageously and then glancing it away from the keeper was as good as you could get. Good performances all round. And as I said, the paradox was that Brazil were playing so well at that stage. What they didn't have were the greatly experienced players to take adversity and turn it into their advantage. They couldn't do that. They simply don't have that experience with them. These are budding and prospective players, and somehow or other they couldn't bring it off. This was Zambrano coming through there to score a goal that meant so much, done delicately and so coolly, as Chile get their 4th victory ever over Brazil.